So I am an absolute whore for survival horror games and zombie movies, so when the announcement and teaser trailer for Back 4 Blood dropped, I was absolutely ecstatic. A brand new zombie game from the creators of Left 4 Dead, which I played religiously growing up, and it was just in time for Halloween season. I was like, hell yeah, man. But the hype was unfortunately short-lived when the game launched on October 12th, 2021, when players noticed a huge difference in what was promised versus what the game actually delivered. What we were supposed to get was a game that was going to be a Left 4 Dead successor, but all we got was a lifeless Call of Duty Zombies mod. All of the elements that players loved about Left 4 Dead were gone or barely recognizable, and the player count for this game quickly diminished before the developers abandoned the game completely. Now, despite knowing all of this, and watching the awesome video that Crowbcats made on this game, I still decided to give it a go and try to genuinely enjoy it for what it was. And as it was installing, I found myself asking, is Back 4 Blood really that bad? And, well, the answer is, well, it's not great. Now look, when I first started this game, I knew I wasn't going to get a Left 4 Dead experience, and I went into it with an open mind. I did the best I could to understand the weird card system and dove right into my zombie massacre. I really enjoyed the dark and eerie atmosphere and found myself having fun as I progressed through the first levels of the campaign. I'm not a huge fan of the zombie design or the fact that the boss monsters have health bars, but I was still doing my best to enjoy the game so far. It wasn't until a few levels later that my interest really started to fade. I got to the level where you have to unload boxes into a truck and I kept dying and having to restart. Now, the cool thing about Left 4 Dead was that you could respawn an infinite number of times in the safe room over and over and over again. But it doesn't work like that in Back 4 Blood. If you die a certain amount of times, you have to restart the entire chapter you just played, which is incredibly irritating. Another thing that really got on my nerves was the point system and the way health packs worked. In Left 4 Dead, you have one health pack that heals you almost entirely, but in Back 4 Blood, while there are health packs, you have to spend points to buy them and heal your team, and in the grand scheme of things, they barely do anything. After dying over and over and over again on the mission I just talked about, I rage quit and uninstalled the game and haven't touched it since. Now, maybe I'm just bad at the game, or maybe it was the nightmare setting I picked, but after a while, the game just felt like a chore to play and it lost its appeal very quickly to me. Most of the things we loved about Left 4 Dead, such as the simplicity, zombie design, music cues, and everything else, are nowhere to be found in Back 4 Blood. Now, maybe I could forgive the lackluster characters or the completely bland and non-threatening look of the zombies, but what I find most unforgivable about this game is how it was marketed. The tagline from the creators of Left 4 Dead is a complete bogus lie, considering that the Valve team who made Left 4 Dead had 184 people working on it, and only 6 of those individuals went on to help produce Back 4 Blood. On top of that, one thing people really loved about Left 4 Dead was the ability to mod it and play maps that were created by other players. That isn't the case at all with Back 4 Blood. The base game is all you get, and it sucks to suck if you don't like it. It really just feels like a giant middle finger to a large portion of players who helped make Left 4 Dead a household name. So at the end of the day, as much as I wanted to enjoy playing Back 4 Blood, all it did was annoy and depress me when I realized how much better the game could have been if it had been worked on by the right people. It is incredibly dull, lifeless, and a complete shell of what it is trying to imitate. So don't waste your money on this game and go boot up Left 4 Dead 2 instead. I'll see you there.